The million-dollar question is, how do you build a sales and marketing machine so you can systematically and predictably generate new business and ultimately thrive in the hyper-competitive global market? This is Sales and Marketing Insights, where entrepreneurs find ideas and answers to exponentially grow their businesses. Prospects versus leads. There's a lot of misunderstanding around this concept. Over the last 10 plus years, I sat across the table from several senior executives, sometimes CEOs, sometimes senior sales professionals, sales executives in large firms where they're having heated discussions around this topic. The CEO looks at the sales rep and say, "We need more sales," and the sales rep turns around and say, "We need more leads." And then both of them turn around and look at the marketing person like, "Hey, where are the leads?" So as you can imagine, there's so much discussion around this concept of prospects versus leads. So what it is and why is it important? So I hope by watching this video you walk away from some insights on what they are and how having a clear definition of what those two things are would help your organization do tremendously better from a sales and marketing standpoint. So from a pure definition standpoint, a lead is someone who actually had just one-way communication or very minimal communication with the brand, whereas a prospect had bi-directional communication. They have had interaction with either a sales team or a marketing team by expressing interest in the product or services that brand offers. So the easiest way to say is there's a sales qualified leads and there's marketing qualified leads. So for example, a marketing qualified lead is someone who kind of fit the criteria of a customer, an ideal customer, but they're not ready for a sales conversation yet. They're showing the behavior of a buyer. They're interacting with your website, they're reading your content, they're visiting your website. They may even have downloaded an ebook or even attended a webinar. So they're showing indication of a buyer, but they are not necessarily ready for a sales conversation yet. Whereas a sales qualified lead is someone who actually are sales ready, that they're having sales discussions with a product expert or a salesperson within your organization. So if you understand the marketing qualified lead versus sales qualified leads, then you can understand a lead by definition is very early in the buyer's journey, whereas a prospect is much farther down the funnel. They may already had discussions with a sales rep. So in that sense, a prospect is much more qualified and somewhat closer to the bottom of the funnel and much sales ready. So that's a quick way to understand what's the difference between a sales qualified lead, a marketing qualified lead, or a lead versus a prospect. So why is it important that your organization adapts a proper definition of what a prospect or what a lead is? The reason is, let's say for example, if your organization is having heated discussions around, hey, we need more sales, and then the sales rep is asking, hey, we need more leads, and then they're both turning, the entire organization is pointing fingers at the marketing team saying, hey, why haven't you generated more leads? It's not the lack of leads, it's usually the misconstrued definition of what a lead is. So for example, if the marketing team is doing a good job, they're probably generating a ton of leads, but typically they're mostly on the top of funnel quality leads. They're more marketing qualified leads. They're not necessarily sales ready. So when sales reps are engaging these leads very early on in the buyer's journey, they're probably not ready to have a sales conversation, so they're going to turn down those phone calls. They're probably not going to respond to the sales reps' emails, and they're probably not the right decision makers. It's just probably a lower level person who's doing research for more of a senior level person within the organization to try to find the answers to the solution or trying to find answers to the problems that they may have. So because that they're engaging at a much earlier stage of the buyer's journey, and the sales reps are actually just calling these leads disqualified. But what they have not realized is that these are marketing qualified leads and not necessarily sales qualified leads. So just the very fact that somebody converted on a webinar doesn't necessarily mean that that person is ready to buy, but it should give you the sense that that company might be going through some changes within the organization that prompting people within that organization to start searching for answers to their problems. So instead of just giving up on that lead, start looking at who within that organization might be your ideal decision maker that you should be talking to, or can this person be the influencer that might lead you to the actual decision makers within that organization. So start thinking about it from that standpoint, instead of just calling that the leads are disqualified. So as opposed to just saying, hey, we need more leads, start to figure out, are these leads that you're getting, are they sales qualified or are they marketing qualified? And if more of your conversations are very early on in the buyer's journey, earlier in the buying process, then more likely that you're just talking with prospects that are just in the marketing qualified stage, and they may not be the sales qualified stage. So you may need to employ some lead qualification process or criteria within your organization to ensure that you are handling these leads properly. So hopefully this was helpful. If you're looking for more additional information around this topic, please do reach out to us and we'll be glad to assist you in defining what a sales qualified lead may look like in your organization, or what might be a marketing qualified lead according to your ideal customer profiles or your buyer personas.